Hey everyone, it's Joel from EV Geek Studios, and this is your mini charge episode for Thursday, January 8th, 2026. Now, 2025 was a pivotal year for electric vehicles in the US. We saw market share shifts, new models hitting the mainstream, and luxury brands making waves with some truly impressive EV offerings. And today we're taking a deep dive into General Motors, a company that has been quietly but steadily expanding its footprint in the EV space. GM may not always grab headlines the way Tesla does, but in terms of volume and diversity, it's a serious player. In fact, as of the end of 2025, GM held onto its number 2 spot in US EV sales, trailing only Tesla. A significant achievement in a market that's becoming increasingly competitive. We're going to break down the numbers, the strategies behind their success, and why models like the Chevy Equinox EV and Cadillac's luxury EV lineup are making GM a brand to watch for both mainstream buyers and luxury enthusiasts. Let's dive in. Despite headwinds in the final months of 2025, especially after the federal EV tax credit of up to $7,500 expired on September 30th, General Motors remained the number 2 EV seller in the US behind Tesla. Here's how the year shaped up. GM sold nearly 170,000 electric vehicles in 2025, up about 48% year over year. In the fourth quarter, when sales softened after the tax incentives expired, GM delivered around 25,219 EVs, which was down 43% compared to quarter 4, 2024. But overall, GM still outpaced other legacy automakers and kept its position ahead of rivals like Ford, a notable achievement in a slowing market. So why does this matter? It shows GM's portfolio breadth, spanning affordable mainstream EVs to full luxury offerings, which helps it stay competitive even after big fiscal incentives fade. Let's start by talking about Cadillac, GM's luxury flagship. It's not just selling EVs, it's leading the luxury EV market among established legacy brands. Cadillac's electric lineup now includes the Optic EV, its entry-level luxury crossover, the Lyriq, it's a mid-size luxury EV SUV, the Vistic, the 3-row EV SUV, and of course the granddaddy of them all, the Escalade IQ and IQL, which is their flagship large EV SUV. In 2025, Cadillac EV sales climbed roughly 69% year over year. And Cadillac recorded its best retail sales since 2007, a huge win for a brand once struggling to stay relevant. This growth reflects both supply ramp-ups and real demand from luxury shoppers for electric alternatives, a group that often influences EV mainstream acceptance. Now let's talk about the model that electrified the affordable SUV segment, the Chevy Equinox EV. Here's what the numbers look like in 2025. The Equinox EV sold nearly 60,000 units, putting it among the top-selling EVs in America outside of Tesla's core lineup. It'll likely finish the year within the top 5 EV sellers overall for 2025 in the US, beating strong competitors like the Hyundai Ioniq 5 and the Honda Prologue. So what's driving this? Well, first, affordability. Starting around $35,000 before any credits, it became one of the least expensive EVs on the market, a key factor for cost-conscious buyers. And also, range and performance. It has an EP-rated range up to 319 miles on a single charge with the base powertrain. Plus, it offers an available dual motor and all-wheel drive options. Now let's shift gears and talk about one of the most closely watched battlegrounds in the EV market. That, of course, is electric pickup trucks. GM is not just competing with sedans and crossovers, it's putting full-size electric trucks into the arena too. That includes models like the Chevy Silverado EV, the GMC Sierra EV, and the GMC Hummer EV pickup and SUV. These trucks are built on GM's Ultium platform and represent the brand's push into a segment traditionally dominated by gas-powered trucks. While electric pickup truck sales overall softened in 2025, a reflection of broader market demand decline after those federal EV tax credits inspired, GM's trucks still made notable gains relative to the segment. The Chevy Silverado EV nearly doubled its deliveries in 2025 compared with the year before, with about 3,940 units delivered in the third quarter alone, even as the broader EV pickup segment contracted. GM's combined truck sales, Silverado EV plus Sierra EV, captured a strong 28% share of the EV truck segment during that same period. Now, these aren't blockbuster volumes compared with gas trucks, which run into the hundreds of thousands, but they're notable in the current EV landscape, especially as most electric pickups are premium priced and the segment itself is proving a tough sale. Even so, Silverado EV's year-over-year growth and segment share gains indicate there is demand for GM's electric truck offerings. It's important to remember that electric trucks remain a smaller slice of overall sales compared to conventional gasoline trucks. U.S. buyers still overwhelmingly favor traditional pickups for work and daily use. And after those federal tax credits faded, EV sales softened more broadly across the industry. That's reflected in production shifts at GM, including adjustments in output levels for larger EVs like the Hummer EV and Silverado EV, as the company aligns manufacturing with actual demand. So what's the overall bigger picture here for GM? First, EV market softness and policy effects. The drop in Q4 2025 EV sales closely tracks the removal of the federal tax credits, showing how incentives still strongly shape consumer decisions. Also, legacy automakers are beginning to find their footing. GM's rise to number 2 EV seller suggests that legacy OEMs can compete meaningfully in the EV sales, particularly when they balance mainstream EVs with luxury EVs. And you have that balance of mainstream versus luxury. Chevrolet's affordable crossover electrics, like the Equinox EV, are expanding access in volume. Cadillac's luxury EVs are profitable and growing rapidly, bridging the gap between performance, premium experience, and electrification. This dual strategy, broad price points, and strong model diversity could help GM navigate future policy and market swings. The EV market is evolving fast, and companies like GM are showing that legacy automakers can still innovate, diversify, and meet customer demand, even when incentives fluctuate or the market slows. It's a story of strategy, foresight, and understanding what different buyer segments want, whether it's an affordable SUV, a premium luxury EV, a premium pickup EV, or something in between. All right, that's your mini charge episode for today. If you enjoyed today's episode, don't forget to like and subscribe on YouTube. And if you're listening on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, tap that follow button and leave us a quick rating. It really helps the show grow. If you found this episode helpful, make sure to follow EV Geek Studios on social media and catch our weekly Friday Charge episodes, where we dive deeper into stories like this and break down what they mean for you, the EV driver and enthusiast. Until next time, stay charged and stay geeky.